Now, you look at all of these influencers on social media and you love their content, the quality and everything. And you're thinking, all I have to do is quit my job and I can create content all day. But the part that you forget is, how much does it cost to actually make the content? Welcome to a solo episode of the Work and Play podcast. At this point, we've recorded over 150 episodes. We've released I can't release more than I've actually recorded. However, we've released and recorded more than 150 episodes. Now, why is that important? It's important because this episode is specifically about the power of creating content. Over the years, even like 5-6 years ago, I would have never imagined myself being a content creator. But here we are, releasing podcasts, content on every social media platform, and I've seen so many more gains through content than I have in my 9-to-5. The reason that's important is because you might be trying to figure out, how do I make that transition? What is my next thing gonna be, right? And if you haven't already started to put yourself in the content creation mode, I wanna give you 4 things that I learned in my journey to hopefully accelerate your process of getting out there on social media and really promoting yourself so that you can be successful, whether you're in your 9-to-5 or you have a business of your own. Now, the number one lesson that I learned in my journey is that your 9-to-5 is your biggest asset when it comes to content creation. Now, you look at all of these influencers on social media and you love their content, the quality and everything. And you're thinking, all I have to do is quit my job and I can create content all day. But the part that you forget is, how much does it cost to actually make the content? Now, for some people, if you have a low budget, you're creating content with your phone on the fly. And then for others, you are creating really quality content using the best equipment that you can find, the editing and software, all of those things, right? Now, on whichever end of the spectrum you are when it comes to content creation, your job is still your biggest asset, and I'll tell you why. 1, all of the money that you make on a weekly basis can now be investing in your content journey. So you want to take a trip on Delta and you want to showcase that entire journey. You want to go on a dope vacation. This is an opportunity for you to take the money that you make every week and invest it into your content. You see these influencers taking these dope trips. Now, some of them have learned how to take trips using credit cards, but even in the beginning, it took an initial investment, and that's what your job provides. Your job allows you to create content on a consistent basis because it's investing in your development and improvement of your content. Now, the most important reason why your job is your biggest asset is in entrepreneurship. If you don't record it, it didn't happen. I'm gonna say that again. I learned this so hard. If you didn't record it, it didn't happen. So it doesn't matter that you were a financial analyst for 10 years in corporate. You decided to quit your job and become a financial analyst, and now you want to have clients invest $5,000, $10,000 to manage their finances. If you haven't built up a repertoire of content that shows you have industry knowledge, you have successful clients, that you've done these type of projects even in your 9-to-5, it's gonna be hard for you to sell that to a potential client when you're ready to bring on additional clients as an independent entrepreneur. So what I'm saying is, if you are a financial analyst, for example, or a data analyst, for example, or if you manage some type of sales and you know your stuff, it's not even that you don't like the job, it's just that you don't want to work at the company anymore, then you should take your subject matter expertise, create content on a daily basis, and then produce that content on social media until you're ready to do something with it. You might not even want to be out here as an entrepreneur just yet. You might just want to take another job somewhere. You can utilize your social media profile to create consistent content based on what you're doing every single day, what you've learned, the projects that you're working on, and the people that you've helped on a daily basis. You're creating content every single day. So no longer do you have that excuse of creating content is difficult or it's challenging or I can't think of enough ideas, because if you use your job properly, then you'll invest that knowledge that you're getting from the job into your content creation and your business, and your clients will be able to see that it's best to invest with you because you know what you're doing. So the number one reason that I learned my 9 to 5 was actually an asset is because it invests in your content creation, and it's an endless well of topics or ideas that you can talk about in your content. Now, my last job was me being a data analyst. So I'm really big on facts and not just feelings. And even still, when it came to social media, I really just thought that you throw things at the wall and you wait to see what sticks. I've even had mentors say, just post whatever and you'll see what the algorithm picks up. But a lot of times they make it seem like social media is this art that needs to be just kind of wade through instead of a science. Now, after releasing over 150 podcast episodes, what I can tell you for sure is that there are specific tactics that I took to monetize my podcast in 3 months. There are specific tactics that I took to ensure that my content would solicit people to purchase through affiliate marketing. And there are specific steps that I took to grow my audience base through social media outlets. This was not an art. It was simply a formula that I put together, and I did it every single week, non-stop. If you want results through your content creation, you have to focus on a formula, on a framework, and then follow that framework consistently so that you can ultimately get the results that you want. Now, if you're listening to these other people who are telling you that you just have to create a lot of content and just see what sticks, so you're looking at some motivational content, you're recording some trending sounds and you're just putting it out there, or you're even just like recording your food, that's not gonna get you the results that you want, and that's ultimately not building the life that you want. So when you think about it, there is a formula that you can follow that doesn't make this thing so complicated. All you need is the information and the framework to apply into your own content creation. That makes it effortless, and it makes it so less overwhelming to create content when you know that there is a simple path that you can take in your content creation process. Now, when it comes to creating content, it's not like it used to be where you have to create this formal commercial and show different B-roll and pans of exterior things. You are the content. I'm gonna say this again. In today's content creation world, anything that you need to create is all about you. Whether you are helping other people, you're creating a certain product or service, any of the things that you're doing on a daily basis, these are the things that people want to see nowadays. They don't just want to see inanimate objects. They don't want to see you pan the scenery all the time. They want to see what you're doing, what you're up to, who you're helping, what is your day-to-day. You are the content. So if you're struggling to figure out, okay, so what do I post? The answer to your question is you. So you are the content. What people don't realize is you don't have to stage content anymore. You don't have to really be a perfectionist, even though I sometimes get in my head sometimes and I feel like every single thing needs to be right. I mean, even to the set being outside. I love being outside. However, there's so many things that can go wrong, and I decided to just go with it, not deal with any of the things that are in my head, and just go. Nothing has to be perfect. And you have to challenge yourself to do the same thing as you create content. The content is about you. The people that you want to help, the people that you want to serve, they need to know what you have to share. And so the sooner you do that, and the sooner you get over the fact that your content has to be perfect and that every single thing that you do is a part of what you should release, the better. And I swear I can't stress this enough, that you'll be surprised the lives you change and the people you touch simply by being your authentic self. After you've thought about these 3 reasons, because I got one more, but I need you to know that one specific lesson that I learned in content creation is social media is not a toy. It's a tool, and it can absolutely be the path to help you leave your mundane 9-to-5 life and go into something that's more dynamic and it's fun and you actually enjoy it because you found an outlet and something that you already know how to do. And I'm talking to my millennials here. We grew up in the era between landlines and cell phones, and we know exactly what it's like to experience all of these things way before social media even existed. We know how to use this thing and use it for good and not just as a leisure activity. I had a friend of mine look at my content and it was all about my business, and she said, I don't go on social media but to do anything but laugh. And for some reason, I thought all my content had to be super serious. It had to be teaching and had to be telling people that they were living the wrong life. You don't have to show up on social media like that. All you have to do is be yourself and use social media for what it was designed for in our age. If you want to leave your job, if you have an intention, then use social media to achieve that. Now, the last thing that I learned in this content creation journey is that you can monetize your content. Every single piece of content that exists out there in the world can lead to a dollar sign. And I'm not telling you that you're creating content for the money. Mind you, all of these other lessons that I learned, I enjoyed the process along the way, and I only realized the monetization was a benefit after I'd done half of the work, if not 90% of the work. But what I'm telling you is, I'm telling you before you even get started, or even if you've gotten your journey along the way, I'm telling you that there is money in content creation. If you like to write blogs, there is a path to monetization for that. If you like to create reels, there's a path to monetization for that. If you have a podcast, there are multiple paths to monetization, and all you have to do is sit down, hit record, and create some content. Now, if monetizing your content is something that is of interest to you, I want to tell you this. Studies is showing that content creation isn't going anywhere. Social media isn't going anywhere. Perhaps the platforms won't last forever, but we will damn sure have social media for the rest of our lives, because we are increasing in technology, but we'll never not want to be social. So in order to connect with others, we're creating content on a daily basis. Now, what type of content that is, that's your choice. And there are many types of content. Whether you create a podcast, a blog, or you only use social media in the time being, there are paths to monetization, and I can help you do that. But I learned this all through my own journey. So I want to just say this. If I knew then what I know now in terms of leaving my journey, I would have been more intentional with my job. I would have been more intentional with my money, and I would have been more intentional with my content as it relates to the journey ahead. If you see some of the successful people in social media and as influencers today, they were intentional and consistent about the same topic over a course of years. And I encourage you to start thinking about that for your own journey, especially if you want to leave your 9-to-5 and go into entrepreneurship. But until next time, I want to thank you so much for listening to the Work and Play podcast, listening or watching to the Work and Play podcast. We have a lot more episodes for you to munch on and think on, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think about this episode. If you know you want to be a content creator, send me a message in the comments and let me know what type of content you want to create. Is it blogs? Is it podcasts? Maybe it's a combination of the two. I want to hear about it, and I want to talk to you, so let's get into it. I'll see y'all in the next episode.